Hi, welcome back. It's Alana from New Zealand again. So I thought I'd show you what I'm going to work on for the next couple of days. Now that my travel journal's finished, it's like, well, what do I do now? You can see I'm getting serious when I start taking my glasses off because I'm short-sighted, so need to see everything that's happening. Or am I long-sighted? Not quite sure. One of the two. And I can see close up but not far away, so I must be short-sighted. So I took the folder that I spoke to you about before to turn into my garden journal. I found these lovely wooden pieces that I had, so I thought I'd stick those on, and then my next job will be just to give it a good coat of paint. I'm just using typical acrylic paint, nothing special. I'll add some sort of distressing into it as well. I wanted to go with the white because I think the black is just a bit harsh for a garden journal. And then I'll put in this beautiful garden planner that Natasha has given me. Well, she didn't give it to me, I downloaded off Natasha. Got my plan in place, just waiting for the husband to buy the special wood so that we can get going. So I'm going to be working on this morning. Then I've got my Pride and Prejudice journal. That's over here. As you can see, still haven't done much with this, but I've started to make some ephemera. So these are some of the beautiful pictures that came out of it. Thought I'd make those into tags. We'll pop some holes in the top. Going to do a whole lot of sewing today as well. So I've got these as well that I'm going to turn into journaling cards, journaling pieces, pockets. Got some envelopes here that I'm going to sew around, and I won't bring you along for that because that's noisy and chaotic. Even made some corner pockets here that I need to sew around as well. Yesterday, thought I'd try my hand. I got this beautiful Happy Mail from this woman called Barbara, who hosts the New Zealand and Australian Happy Mail, and it's a hidden paper clip. So I thought I'd give myself a go at trying to make one of these. Thought it was reasonably straightforward, but it turned out it really wasn't for my brain anyway. And so I'll give some of those a go today. Got all the other, and you can hear me just rummaging around over here, all these other pieces that I want to do stuff with, pieces that I'm going to turn into tags and envelopes and whatever else I'm going to put in my journal. As you can see, it's quite a small journal, so it's not going to actually be able to hold a lot. Like, I think this is 20 pages. So I think I will actually sew it on like a proper junk journal rather than bind it properly, so that I can make it more realistic. But I think this morning I'll start with painting this. So I'm just going to get out something so I can paint on so that it doesn't cause too much of a mess, so I can keep crafting as I go for my next thing. I've fallen in love with this little stumpy brush. It's a natural 34038 from China. Don't know where I got it from. Don't know how it's been acquired into all my stash, but for some reason absolutely love it. It's really nice to get around those edges. It was quite hard. If you can see, there's still bits here that I haven't quite managed to get around, so I'll have to take my craft knife to those and sort of push them down a bit. I'm hoping this, so this is just so that you know, it's just PVA with napkin on it, and I'm hoping that gives it quite a nice distressed look, because I quite like all the sort of bumps and ridges it's given. And with both sides, I went for more of a flower design on this side here, thinking that, you know, one side can be that. So it is a 3-ring binder, and you can see I've gone and mucked up a little bit by putting stuff in here. So I'm deciding what to put in here. I'm actually thinking I might do some fussy cuts and just do a sort of a collage, decoupage type thing at the back here. I don't normally do 3-ring binders. I'm normally a 2-person as we are in New Zealand, but I quite like the idea of the 3. And as I've said before, it comes with all of these things here, so they'll be neat to go in between the planner pages. And then I've got all of these that I need to decorate. I won't be using the alphabetical order, I don't think, but I will be using them in some way. So that's for me today. So painting first, and while that dries, then I'll work on my Pride and Prejudice journal, and then I think I will, that's probably all I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to pour some paint on and give it a good go. So just so, because I'm new to this YouTube gig, as you can tell, because don't have very many views, and definitely don't know what I'm doing when it comes to videos. But I live all the way in New Zealand, and just recently had a bit of an issue with my job, my health, actually more my health than my job. So that's why I'm home at the moment, just discovering myself again and really getting back into my crafting. It's been an interesting journey. It's been 6 weeks of trying to get my health back in order. Feel like I've finally started to make some headway with it, and ready to go back and tackle work, so it'd be less of this and more actual focus on doing the job, I suppose. But it has been an interesting journey for me. Like, my mental health has just absolutely suffered. And even though I've sought lots of professional help and lots of therapy and lots of support with my family, it's still, you know, it's going to take time. And it's amazing because it stems all the way back to my childhood. And as my therapist told me, you've got to leave your childhood in the past and, you know, move on to what's happening today. And, you know, I thought that would be easy to do, but it's not as easy as you think sometimes. It's quite hard to leave your past in the past, and childhood trauma does not sort of just go away. I suppose that's why I work with kids in my normal job, because I can have empathy for them, and I know how hard childhood trauma can be on a person. But it's been an interesting journey for me, and one that I'm so grateful that a lot of people have understood and have been really supportive. As I said, 6 weeks of trying to work out how to get my health back. I mean, I wish I could do this sort of thing for a living, but it's not quite paying off. So, you know, I'm trying to be frugal with everything I do, and constantly hitting the, well, not constantly hitting, I shouldn't say that, but hitting the supermarkets with trying to get the best deals on things. And I mean, my husband and I have booked this trip to Europe, and I mean, even though I'm still getting a bit of my pay, it's still, you know, it's still quite hard to let all of that go and to think, okay, it's going to be okay. I'm going to be able to frugally get myself there while still paying the mortgage and being able to cope with everything else. I mean, I've become so frugal that, you know, it's quite difficult to even think about spending a few dollars every now and again, but that's the way life is, I suppose. I find it quite difficult. And, you know, this sort of thing is great for taking my mind off that sort of stuff, but I don't know if my mind will ever be off it. I don't know if my mind will ever be off the need to be frugal and to be better, and I don't know whether that's just my mental state and whether that's not helping. I'm trying to read books to help me. I'm in therapy, but my mental health just, I don't know, just makes me feel like I'm not worth it. And I can tell, you know, watching these videos, that sometimes it's not actually me, but it is just the way the state of my mind is working at the moment. And I mean, I've suffered from depression for a number of years, and I've always had great coping mechanisms, and I've got a great family behind me to help me. But for some reason, this one's just thrown me for a loop, and I just can't seem to get myself out of it very well. Even though I'm trying, really trying, and definitely trying to make sure that I can deal with this. It's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get up every morning and I'll do houseworky stuff, because, you know, that's what a good housewife would do, since I'm being a housewife at the moment for the last 6 weeks. And but I just don't feel worthy enough to carry the burden of not being at work. And isn't it interesting that even though I'm doing other things, I'm looking after myself, I'm preparing myself for, you know, heading back into the workforce, this sort of stuff throws you for a loop, and you think, well, actually, am I worthy enough to be doing this? And I know logically, yes, and my family tell me this all the time, but, you know, just where do you suddenly start feeling your worth again? And I know my worth is all pent up in my job and how people see me, and how, because even my therapist has said my self-esteem is based on that. how people see me and how, you know, how I can help others. But at what point do I start going, actually, I need to help myself first? So it's hard. Still trying to work out what I'm going to do, whether I go back on Monday and to work and see how things go, or don't know. I really don't know. I don't know where my brain is going to lead me. Gosh, I'm looking at this one here and it's starting to pull up and I'm thinking, oh, is it going to stay? So that's, you know, that's me. I'm very lucky that I've got such a stable family around me. I have my 2 sons who are now adults. One's off on a cruise this week for 10 days. And actually I saw his cruise room and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Would love to be able to go on a cruise, but my husband's very against them. He's there for old people. And I mean, he's only just turned 50 and I'm soon to be 50 in January. So yeah, I get it. But hey, wouldn't it be awesome just to not have to do anything for a whole 10 days, but just enjoy yourself and deal with the, you know, well, as my son showed me, his favorite thing that he said he's going to do is go to the casino, which the son here is so frugal that getting money out of him is like eating a stone, you know, even to pay for a dinner or his own dinner sort of thing. So even though he's doing well, he works as a creator. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's something to do with this stuff here, social media. But yeah, it's, you know, it'd be nice to just have that time away. So still trying to decide what I'm doing in my life, how I'm going with it, and yeah, whether I head back on Monday or is it going to throw me for a loop again and then I'm going to end up having more time? I mean, should I leave my job and go study something new? You know, where do I go from here? And I'm hoping therapy will help me. I mean, my therapist did say, yes, go back to work, you can do it, not a problem, but I don't know if I can. I suppose that's the hard part of it all, is I really don't know if I can. I don't know whether, yeah, it's the best place for me at the moment. Or whether doing stuff like this, which I love doing, and being creative is where I should be at the moment. So don't know. So you'll have to watch the space. If the videos become less and far between, then you know that I've headed back to work and I'm doing the usual grind of, you know, 9 to 5, working hard and making that money, and hopefully at the same time still looking after myself. I don't know, my husband and my kids have no expectation of me running back at, you know, anytime soon, and they're all very there for me. It's just whether I need to go back to have it. I don't know, has anybody else, you know, had issues with their mental health that has affected their job? If you have, can you leave a comment or, you know, let me know, because I'd love to know if there's other people out there that have suffered through the same, you know, similar, where their mental health just didn't cope and they needed to take time for themselves to find themselves again, which is how I feel. I feel like I need to find myself again, like find what brings me joy again. And yeah, I love doing this and I love sharing it with people, but I'm not sure if, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's giving me enough joy at the moment. I have a feeling this is going to take more than one coat, and I also noticed that I probably need to actually move it around to have a look, because going back to this, the first side, there's a bit here that I've completely missed, need to go back and do, and all the little intricate pieces on the inside and around it I've completely missed, so I might just douse it in some paint and see how that goes, see if I can get those little bits that I've missed. So I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. It's an interesting idea, but it's actually quite cathartic. I'm finding this quite cathartic because I'm able to, you know, share my thinking and my thoughts and where I am at this particular place and time. And I know, well, I'm hoping that there are others out there who understand my situation and who know exactly what I'm going through. I mean, as I said, I've had nothing but support from people. but it's very hard to understand. It's not like, I suppose it's not like when you have heart disease or something like that, because people just don't understand. It's not something they can see or they know you can immediately fix, because your brain is a completely different, a way to look at things. And even though, you can take pills to help with it, it doesn't necessarily mean that your brain's always going to function in the way that it needs to. And I know mental health is a big thing at the moment, and it's very, very prominent in New Zealand at the moment, with our high suicide rate. But it's really hard for other people to understand. Like, a lovely work colleague, and I do say lovely, messaged me and said, come on, you can do it, you can come back. But I don't think they understood that actually it's not just about coming back, it's about all the other stuff that goes with it, the struggle that is real, the mental struggle to actually get myself back there and think about it. And while I'm not feeling worthy of anything at the moment, and I really am not, it's really poignant to actually point out that mental health is a big struggle, and mental health isn't something that you wake up one morning and suddenly you're cured. It's something that I will go through for the rest of my life. And I suppose, it stems from my childhood trauma, but it also stems from what's this incident that's happened at work that's thrown me off a little bit. And it's nobody to blame. It is what it is, and unfortunately for me, it's affecting the way I view the world at the moment. I mean, going back would be great. I'd love to go back, but I just don't know if my mental brain will cope. Oh, I'm loving how this texture looks. I'm loving how it's worked out. I think I will definitely have to take my knife to around these intricate pieces, because even though the tissue paper is stuck, it's very hard to get into the pieces here or I have to bring out my little brushes, I suppose. I could do that too, but yeah. So let me know if anybody else has suffered from, you've had some mental health issues that you need to work through or anything like that. I'd love to know. I'm just going to pause you there, because I'm just going to move this out of the way. Actually, I won't pause you, I'll just move it out of the way. Put that to the side, let it sort of dry. And so sorry, you're looking at a black screen but listening to my voice, and I do apologise for that. And I'll get on with some Pride and Prejudice things. So as I said, I've made some tags already, so 3 of them. The title was over 2 pages, so what I thought I'd do is I would just somehow put that around and together. I'm not quite sure how yet, but that'll come together once I start putting the book together. So there's my book, there you can see. And so I've got pieces like this that I'm thinking actually would look really nice as a tag. Sorry, lost my words there. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but so I've cut out some templates of different types of tags, big ones, small ones, large ones. I know I watch Willow Bound Journals, and she does this all the time, and I just love how she does it. All made out of manila folders. So you'll have to excuse this one. I don't know what's happened to it, but I got something on it this morning. Probably my breakfast, I'd say. So yeah, just a good old buff sort of manila folder. So I've got this beautiful thing here, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't really want to take it apart, and I don't really want to make it into a pocket either. So I'm thinking I might just turn it into a journaling card, and put some stitching around it so that I can put it in there and keep it in there. And I think I need some belly bands. So in my list of things I need to do, I need some belly bands. I'd like some more journaling cards, so bigger journaling cards, not just tags. And I'm just trying to think what else I might want to put in there. Just see if I can put any of these. No. Oh, look, now I've got paint and all sorts on my hands. The life of a crafter. I could cut this one down, actually. I think that's what I'll do. I'll cut this one down so that it fits. So that's that one that'll do. I'll get my glue sticks out. thinking, I mean, look at that page, isn't it beautiful? Thinking I might actually just join these two pages. Oh no, this one's joined already, so this one I'm just going to stitch in and keep that as well, because I quite like that. So I'll put that one to the side. I'll just check to see if there's any others that I'll stitch in, so that, oh, here's another one. Isn't this the worst photo of Darcy? I mean, come on. They could have, well, the worst picture of Darcy, I should say. I keep saying photo, even though it's not a photo. The worst picture. I think it does have no justice whatsoever, especially not when you watch the movie, and the movie's just gorgeous. I'm going to keep these pages together because this ends up being the conversation they have. And I think that would just be, it's actually I lie, it's the letter that he wrote about it. But look at that. So you can see that, you know, he's wandering off after just giving her the letter. Love the way that he's looking back at her. So I'll keep those together. This is the rest of the letter. Not quite sure what I'm going to do. Here's the auntie going up the stairs. I think I'm actually going to turn that one into a journal, into a tag, a nice big tag, because I quite like it. I like her rushing up the stairs, but I don't want the whole thing. So if I put that there, yeah, I do like that. So I'm going to leave it like that. And you'll notice that I'm the sort of crafter that quite likes my stuff quite bland. Like, I won't put any more on these tags. I'll just leave them as they are, even though I know collage and building up is a big thing at the moment. I quite like just leaving them natural. With the leftover from this tag here, I will actually put those onto other bits and make it into more of a collage type thing. Just not sure what sort of bits yet. I'm thinking a journaling card again for this one. So these two become large journaling cards. Actually, I've just had a thought. If I did that with this one and got just the auntie going up the stairs, I might use this part here to be a nice belly band. I think that'd make quite a nice belly band. Yeah, I think I'm going to reinforce this bit with the other sheet that's just here, so that I can have the two pieces. No, definitely going to do that. Right, I'm going to just cut it now. I'll cut it down now so that I know what I'm doing. And for me, just a good old pair of scissors. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I can always cut it up later again. I'm not sure what, I'll leave these little pieces as scraps and then put them maybe together as a masterboard a bit later. Maybe do a Pride and Prejudice masterboard of some sort. But I'm not as creative as these people who have these amazing masterboards. And I'd love to know. I mean, I've watched lots of videos on them and I think, oh, I wish I could do that. I'm just not as creative. I don't know. I can't see through the mess, I suppose. Like this at the moment, I can't see through the mess and go, yes, that'd be great. So I'm just going to move some stuff off my table and glue this. Now, normally I put down a chopping board so that I can actually do some gluing, but I don't have one with me. So I'm just going to use some of my pages of my Paris book, bits that I don't need. Oops, make sure that I have the picture at the front, because otherwise I'll glue the paper, the words down, and it's just not going to work. So I can see that I'm actually taking quite a long time doing this, and I do apologise. Thank you for listening to my rant about my mental health and how reality's sort of throwing me for a loop at the moment. And yeah, I mean, I know I'll get back to it. I mean, I suppose I was almost tempted to return back to work today, but I don't know, I'm just not there yet. I can't even get this on straight today. There we go. Oh, it's straight enough, but what I'll do is I'll trim down the tag. And I'll flip it over and just check, and I'll trim down this bit. And when I pull up the sewing machine, I'll go around it with some nice black thread so that it looks like up these bits here. can see I'm not too particular, because once it's got the thread around it, it'll look really good. Even thinking of rounding this bit actually. Might give it a little bit of point of difference. Alright, now for the belly band. Look, I'm doing that when I cut the 2 pages together. I've got this lovely sheet that I can keep. Oh my gosh, I have to show you. The best find ever that I have found is this, and I know other people have them and they have them in beautiful colours, but oh, love my Office Max one. It is amazing. Cleans my desk beautifully, even with all glitter and what I put on it. Here's the belly band. I'm just going to reinforce it on this page so that it's a little bit thicker. I mean, I just love the colour of this page. You know, the beige, I suppose, it really speaks to me. That's the good thing about using vintage books, I suppose, is that they have that beautiful aged colour to them and you don't have to do much to them. So this will be a nice thick belly band. And that's, again, still not being able to get it 100%, but that's okay. We'll just flick it over and have a look. Yeah, so there you go. I've got bits that need to trim off to make it better. But there we go. So I've done a tag and a belly band. And now I think I'm actually going to take a break and have a coffee, upload this video to you, or for you. Thanks for listening. And like I said, message me in the comments if you've gone through something similar with your mental health and have struggled to get to work and to do things and have found that you need a creative process to be able to actually let it out and work through things. I'd love to hear from other people. It's not an easy journey. And it's not one that a lot of people understand. So if you can help me, that'd be great. Thank you.